Hi folks, it's me again. Hope you all had a nice Christmas and a wonderful New Year. Now, I want to share this with you because it carries important messages and I hope you all understand. I found this piece on a friend's page called Valerie Vance. Now, she has a friend called Ricky, a Trump supporter, and he was once hesitant to express his loyalty to President Trump, but he wrote this beautiful article and is hesitant no more. Kudos to you, Ricky. Well done, and thank you. This is a message that everybody needs to take in. Okay, so here we go. To all the people who let this election break up families and friends, let this sink in. I think the last civil conversation we had occurred just days before November 8th, 2016. You were supremely confident Hillary Clinton would win the presidential election. You voted for her with glee. As a lifelong Republican, I bit down hard and cast my vote for Donald Trump. Then the unimaginable happened. He won, and you lost your freaking minds. I knew you would take the loss hard and personally, since all of you were super jacked up to elect the first woman president. But I did not imagine you would become totally deranged, attacking anyone who voted for Trump or supported his presidency as a racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic Nazi sympathizer. The weirdness started on social media late on election night as it became clear Hillary was going to lose. A few of you actually admitted that you were cradling your sleeping children, weeping, wondering what to tell your kindergartner the next morning about Trump's victory. It continued over the next several days. Some of you seriously expressed fear about modern-day concentration camps. Despite living a privileged lifestyle, you were suddenly a casualty of the white patriarchy. Your daughters were future victims. Your sons were predators in waiting. You threatened to leave Facebook because you could no longer enjoy the family photos or vacation posts from people who, once friends, became literal Hitlers to you on November 8th because they voted for Donald Trump. I admit I was a little hurt at first. The attacks against us Trump voters were so personal and so vicious that I did not think it could be sustained. I thought maybe you would regain your sanity after some turkey and eggnog. But you did not. You got worse, and I went from sad to angry to where I am today, amused. As the whole charade you have been suckered into over the last 18 months starts to fall apart, that Trump would not survive his presidency, he would be betrayed by his own staff, family, and/or political party. He would destroy the Republican Party. He would be declared mentally ill and removed from office. He would be handcuffed and dragged out of the White House by Robert Mueller for colluding with Russia. Let me remind you that what complete fools you have made of yourselves. Not to mention how you've been fooled by the media, the Democratic Party, and your new heroes on the Never Trump right. On November 9, you awoke from a self-induced, 8-year-long political coma to find that White House press secretaries shade the truth and top presidential advisors run political cover for their boss. You were shocked to discover that presidents exaggerate, even lie on occasion. You became interested for the first time about the travel accommodations, office expenses, and lobbyist pals of administration officials. You started counting how many rounds of golf the president played. You suddenly thought it was fine to mock the First Lady now that she wasn't Michelle Obama. Once you removed your pussy hat after attending the Women's March, you made fun of Kellyanne Conway's hair, Sarah Sanders' weight, Melania Trump's shoes, Hope Hicks's death stare. You helped fuel a rumour started by a bottom-feeding author that UN Ambassador Nikki Haley slept with Donald Trump. You thought it was A-OK that Betsy DeVos was nearly physically assaulted and routinely heckled. You glorified a woman who has sex on camera for a paycheck. You've learned all kinds of new things that those of us who didn't willfully ignore politics for the past 8 years already knew. For example, we already knew that illegal immigrants were being deported and families were being separated. Some of your behaviour has been kind of cute. It was endearing to watch you become experts on the Logan Act, the Hatch Act, the Second Amendment, the 25th Amendment, and the Emoluments Clause. You developed a new crush on Mitt Romney after calling him a sexist for having binders full of women. You longed for a redux of the presidency of George W. Bush, a man you once wanted imprisoned for war crimes. Ditto for John McCain. You embraced people like Bill Kristol and David Frum without knowing anything about the histories of shotgunning the Iraq War. Classified emails shared by Hillary Clinton? Who cares? David Nunes wanting to declassify crucial information of the public interest? Traitor! But your newfound admiration and fealty to law enforcement really has been a fascinating transformation. Wasn't it just last fall that I saw you loudly supporting professional athletes who were protesting police brutality by kneeling during the national anthem? Remember how you fanboyed a mediocre quarterback for wearing socks that depicted cops as pigs? But now you sound like paid spokesman for the Fraternal Order of Police. You insist that any legitimate criticism of the misconduct and possible criminality that occurred at the Justice Department and FBI is an attack on law enforcement. While you once opposed the Patriot Act, because it might have allowed the federal government to spy on terrorists who were using the local library to learn how to make suitcase bombs, you now fully support the unchecked power of a secret court to look into the phone calls, text messages, and emails of an American citizen because he volunteered for the Trump campaign for a few months. Spying on terrorists circa 2002, bad. Spying on Carter Page circa 2017, the highest form of patriotism. And that white male patriarchy that you were convinced would strip away basic rights and silence any opposition after Trump won, that fear has apparently been washed away as you hang on every word uttered by James Comey, John Brennan, and James Capper. This triumvirate is Exhibit A of the Old Boy Network and represents how the insularity, arrogance, and cover-your-tracks mentality of the white male power structure still prevails. Yet instead of rising up against it, you're buying their books, retweeting their Twitter rants, and blasting anyone who dares to question their testicular authority. Your pussy hats must be really sad. But your daily meltdowns about Trump-Russia election collusion have been the most entertaining to observe. After Robert Mueller was appointed as special counsel, you were absolutely convinced it would result in Trump's arrest and/or impeachment. Some of you insisted that Trump wouldn't last beyond 2017. You quickly swallowed any chum tossed at you by the Trump-hating media on MSNBC, the New York Times, and the Washington Post about who was going down next or who would flip on the president. For the past year, I've watched you obsess over a rotating cast of characters. Paul Manafort, Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, Carter Page, Reince Priebus, Jeff Sessions, Michael Flynn, Steve Bannon, Sam Nunberg, and Hope Hicks are just a few of the people you thought would turn on Trump or hasten his political demise. But when those fantasies didn't come true, you turned to Michael Avenatti and Stormy Daniels for hope and inspiration. It will always be your low point. Well, I think it will be. Each time I believe you've hit bottom, you come up with a new baseline. Perhaps defending the unprecedented use of federal power to spy on political foes, then lie about it, will be the next nail in your credibility coffin. The next several weeks will be tough for you. I think Americans will learn some very hard truths about what happened in the previous administration and how we purposely have been misled by powerful leaders and the news media. I wish I could see you as a victim here, but you're not. I know you're smart. You chose to support this insurgency with your eyes wide open. Now, that is a hell of an article. Thank you very much, Ricky. You've said what we all think. I hope this message gets across and that people understand that what's really going on is not about political parties or anything like that. It's to do about a massive cover-up. and about globalists trying to take over. That needs to be stopped. Now, the UN and even the EU over here in Britain are all part of it. And if we don't stand up and show them that we will not put up with it, we will not be controlled, we will not bow down to dictatorship and tyranny. If we don't stand up for our rights, then humanity is lost. That's pretty much all I can say. I love this article, it's absolutely brilliant. Like I said, it says everything that I feel and think, and if Ricky doesn't mind, I would like to include it in my new book when it comes out. Still working on it, doing plenty of research. Anyway, keep up the good fight, people. Don't give up and keep the faith. POTUS knows what he's doing. Stand behind him. Stand with him. Let's do this.